Hey everyone, today we are taking a look at the 2012 film, Battleship. Watch out for spoilers, and enjoy the show. The movie begins with a group of scientists about to send a signal to a planet they've found that is nearly identical to Earth. Some in the group are skeptical of the idea, but they do it anyway. We then cut to our protagonist, Hopper, who's out celebrating his birthday at a bar with his brother, Stone. He sees a cute girl at the bar who is wanting to get something to eat, so he promises to bring her a burrito to win her favor. Unfortunately, the store across the street is closed, so he breaks in and steals the burrito, but ends up getting caught and tased in the process. We then jump forward some time into the future and see that Hopper has joined the Navy with his brother, and he is now dating the girl from the bar, whose name is Samantha. He wants to ask for permission to marry her, but her father is Hopper's commanding officer, Admiral Shane, which complicates things. We then cut back to one of the scientists, Cal, as he detects several large objects heading toward Earth in an apparent formation. One of the objects appears to break apart upon entry into the atmosphere, and the debris from the ruined ship crashes into the city of Hong Kong, causing massive destruction. Chinese authorities later verify that the craft is of alien origin. The remaining objects all touch down in the Pacific Ocean, just off the coast of Hawaii. There are several naval vessels in the area, including both battleships and destroyers, who manage to spot the strange objects protruding from the ocean just a short distance away. They try to locate the objects with their scanners and radar to get a better feel for their size and distance, but nothing comes up. With Hopper's ship being the closest, he decides to take a small boat out to investigate further. When they get close, one of the objects opens up and releases a powerful beam into the sky, creating a dome-like force field around the vessels, cutting communication to the outside world and preventing anyone else from getting close. We next see two other massive alien ships emerge from the ocean depths and land on the water right next to the small crew in the boat. This causes Hopper's brother, Commander Stone, to order the firing of a warning shot at the new vessels. In retaliation, one of the alien ships launches some canister-shaped projectiles at the destroyer that fired the shot, which stick into the ship for a moment before detonating violently, causing massive damage. Stone then decides to fire back at the alien craft from his ship, unfortunately having little effect. The alien ship then turns its attention to his vessel, launching another, larger barrage of the canister-like projectiles. We see the canisters completely cover his ship, lodging into the side like pegs on a game board. Just a few seconds later, the whole ship explodes. Devastated at the loss of his brother, Hopper orders a full attack on the alien ships. The other ship in the area with them comes to their aid, launching their own barrage at the aliens. Once again, however, the aliens retaliate, completely destroying their vessel. Realizing that a full-on charge will likely get them killed, Hopper decides to call off the attack and try to save the remaining sailors in the water instead. Once their ship turns away, the aliens appear to no longer deem it as a threat and stop attacking. We next see another part of the alien structure opening up, launching out spheres that look like rotating, razor-like gears. The spheres are incredibly powerful and appear to have a targeted mission, destroying both our weapons and our infrastructure. They also send out another craft, this one flying toward land, toward the radio tower that drew them there. We then cut back to Hopper and his crew as they crowd around an alien body that they found in the water. They take off its helmet and are just beginning to get a closer look when another group of aliens bursts through the wall, taking the body of their friend. The crew then proceeds to do battle with the remaining aliens, and using teamwork, are able to defeat them. We next see Samantha hiking with her friend Mick on a mountain near the radio tower. On the way up the mountain, they come across two destroyed police vehicles in the middle of the path. While surveying the wreckage, they hear some movement nearby and quickly hide. We see the aliens responsible for the destruction emerge from behind the trees, looking around for the source of the noise. Fortunately, the aliens believe the noise came from some nearby horses, and they soon leave the area. A little further down the path, They run into the scientist, Cal, who fled the radio station when the aliens arrived. The three then decide to head back to the station, as they need to stop the aliens from sending a signal back to their planet, calling more of their friends. Back on the ship, we see Jimmy wearing the alien helmet, and he notices that the visor is like wearing really dark sunglasses. This means that the aliens are sensitive to sunlight, which he explains to Hopper. A short time later, we see Hopper discussing what to do next with the captain from the other ship, Yugi. Since they can't see the enemy ships with any of their sensors, Yugi suggests using tsunami buoys to detect the trajectory of the ships as they move, so they can better plan their shot. They begin to track the movement of one of the enemy ships, and after lining up a shot, they launch a couple of missiles in its direction. Unfortunately, it was a miss, and it also gave away their position. They soon detect another ship nearby, with both enemy ships now headed their way. They launch one more desperate barrage of missiles, this time targeting where the ships are going to be, rather than where they are now. This time they get a hit, managing to destroy both of the alien ships. They all begin to celebrate, but we soon see a third ship appearing on the map of buoys, and this time, its behavior is unpredictable, seeming to jump all over the place while chasing them. They begin to panic, as they know they can't win in an open battle with the alien craft. With dawn only 40 minutes away, they decide to lead it into the coming sunrise, hoping to exploit the weakness of the aliens' vision. They hide around the side of one of the islands, with the rising sun at their backs. Hopper and Yugi get ready with sniper rifles, ready to shoot at the cockpit of the ship as it comes around the side of the island, hoping to blind the pilot inside. Their plan works, and they shatter the glass of the cockpit, flooding the ship with sunlight. While the aliens are blinded, they launch a full-scale assault on the craft, deploying every weapon in their arsenal. They are successful in destroying the ship, but just as they start to celebrate, they notice two of the razor-like spheres hurtling in their direction. The spheres hit the ship, causing massive damage on impact and continuing the destruction even after they land, tearing the ship to pieces. Fortunately, many of the crew are able to jump ship and survive in the water, with Hopper and Yugi having to jump off the back while avoiding the massive propellers. While happy to be alive, they realize they still need to find a way to take down the force field so they can stop the remaining aliens before they can call for reinforcements. With all of their modern ships destroyed, Hopper decides to fire up the old Battleship, now acting as a museum in the harbor, and asks a bunch of old Navy veterans to help. They fire the ship up and get ready for battle. As they approach the structure creating the force field, we see that it is also a massive ship itself, this time emerging fully from the water. The alien craft readies its weapons to fire, seeing that the battleship is presenting as a threat. Hopper tells Korra to aim their weapons to the side, away from the aliens, to lower their threat level. He then calls for a hard turn to the left, which starts to tilt the guns back in the direction of the alien ship. The aliens then have to adjust to the much closer ship and rearm their weapons. Once they do, they manage to fire off a round of canisters at the battleship. Hopper then calls for them to drop port anchor, which not only causes the projectiles to miss their ship, but also lines up all of their guns perfectly with the alien craft. They then unload on the vessel, with the two exchanging rounds of fire. They finally manage to destroy the ship and take down the force field, allowing the rest of the Navy to come in and clean things up. Hopper knows the job still isn't done, and they need to now fire on the radio tower, preventing the remaining aliens from calling for backup. We next cut to Samantha and Mick driving a jeep through some power wires outside of the base near the radio tower, just as it started broadcasting. They end up crashing the car, and Mick gets out to fight one of the aliens one-on-one. He holds his own for a while by taking off the alien's helmet, and Cal comes in at the last minute to help. They all flee as the remaining aliens desperately try to get the antenna back online. We next see Hopper ordering the strike on the radio tower, praying that Samantha was nowhere near the area. They fire the giant missile, and we see the base of the radio tower get completely destroyed in a massive explosion, ending the alien threat once and for all. In the final scene, we see the heroes of the film getting awarded for their service, and Hopper finally asking for permission to marry Samantha. Like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. See you next time.